Are you a long-term real estate investor? You're not going to want to miss today's video where I go over a free tool that you can use to help you to find opportunities in the real estate market. Hey guys, it's Pete here again with Renters Warehouse. Wanted to take a little bit of time and show you about the new investor marketplace, which is a really terrific tool if you are an investor, especially a long-term investor, and you are looking to find where the best places to buy property are. You can use this tool. It will take a look at everything that's going on in the market, and we do have multiple markets. I'm going to show you Denver today because that's where I work, both in sales and leasing. But there are many other markets, and we do have hundreds of investors that are currently on this platform right now, actively buying and selling. The other thing that it's really, really good for is analyzing an existing portfolio. So let's say you had a portfolio of 10 or 15 properties, and you wanted to be able to take a look at the properties and see what's going on as far as what your rates of return are, how everything is performing, how the counties are changing over time, unemployment and things like that. You can do all that stuff. So if you'd like to have free access to this, all you have to do is reach out to me, let me know your name, your telephone number, your email address, and I'll send you a free invite. And I'll also give you some instruction on how to use it. It's a really powerful platform, very simple to use. So we're going to start off here. We're going to talk about ROI a little bit. ROI is your yield. So you have rent that comes in every single month, you pay your expenses, and that gives you your yield. And then you have the appreciation for the county or the city that the property's in. So those two things together, appreciation plus yield, gives you ROI. So that's how we calculate everything. We do that in real time. So right now we're taking a look at the Denver area here. You have Aurora, you have Lakewood. So let's, as we scroll over each one of these, you can see what the projected ROI is. So what we're doing in real time is we're calculating out an average rent that you might be able to get for that property. Obviously, if you're serious about a property, before you go and look at it, you want to reach out to me or one of the other agents. We'll take and run the numbers for you. So just to make sure that the ROI on the property is what you are actually looking for. So let's say we wanted to come up here to ROI and we wanted to filter some of these. Let's take an ROI of 10% to say 12%. And in real time, the system will recalculate that and will only show us things that are in these ROIs. So let's scroll around a little bit here. Take a look. Let's zoom in a little bit on this area right here. Up in Aurora. Aurora is very popular for rentals. And let's take a look at a couple of these. We have a one-bedroom house or a condo, 2 bedrooms. This one has 10.18 ROI. Okay. Let's get up here a little bit closer to 225. All right. And let's just click on one of these just for the heck of it. Let's click on this one right here. So we have some really great tools where you're not only able to take a look at the property itself, but you're actually able to drill down, do what if scenarios. So here's the property page. So this is going to give you pictures to show you what the property looks like. And you can scroll all through the pictures. You can see the bedrooms, bathrooms over here on the right. You can see when the property was built, square footage, and then we're giving you the estimated monthly rent. This is probably a little bit low. So let's go back in and change these numbers around a little bit to get a little bit closer to what we might be able to get. So here is the financials page. So this is the asking price. And when we originally send all this out to you, we're basically saying you purchase the property cash. Now, obviously, most people don't do that. So let's go in here and start changing some of these things around. So instead of putting 100% down payment, let's come over here and let's put 20% down. Okay. All right. Now, as we look over here on the financial side, you can see how this is going to change things. Now, 6.75 is a pretty high interest rate for nowadays. Let's make this 4.5%. Okay, So now we're taking a look at the cash flow. All right, the estimated monthly rent we have here is $1,260. I know this is probably low. I'd say probably, let's say $1,650 would be a little bit closer to what we're going to do. So now we're going to take a look at our cash flow over here. Yearly cash flow after you get done taking, let me just change this. Okay, let's say management fees probably close to 7%. Okay, we have flat rate management, but it allows you to put in a percentage there. So maintenance, it's calculating out maintenance 7.64%. Your insurance, this one does have an HOA, so that's calculating all your HOAs out, dues out for you, and building all this into here. So we're taking a look down here a little bit. This one is coming in at 25.35% return on investment, which is a really good return on investment, quite obviously. But each person is going to have a different numbers that they're going to want to put in here. Obviously, you're going to want to include your closing costs, and you're going to want to make sure that these numbers are all pretty much correct as you go through. So that's how this works. Now, let's say we wanted to take a look at what's going on in this county. We can move over to the next tab here, which is market data. So the very first thing you're going to see on here is the price appreciation, and this is from 1996 all the way up to 2018 is the last that we collected data. But you can see this nice graph here. So you can see the darker or the black here. This is the state average. We have the county average for Arapahoe County here, and we have the United States average. And you can see Denver's doing a bit better than the United States in general, so that's good to see. We'll come down here and take a look at the population change. So what we want to see here is this green line steadily increasing, and that's exactly what we're seeing here in Denver. It's quite a booming town. Migration patterns. This is showing the number of people that are moving to this particular county versus the number of people that are moving out of the county. So as long as this line is higher than this line, that's a good sign. Okay, unemployment rate. Obviously something you want to take into consideration. Especially if you're looking in like a smaller town or something like that, you want to take a look at the unemployment rate. You obviously want to see that going down, which it is here in Denver and surrounding areas. And then this is another really very helpful thing to take a look at, which is job diversity. So you can see that jobs in this county are spread across all these different sectors, which is what you want to see. Let's say you were in a small town and there was an Air Force base there, and 50% of this pie was taken up by the Air Force base. Well, what happens if there's a change in the political climate and they decide to close that Air Force base? That's going to make it very difficult for you to get market rents, and rents will start to go down. So what you want to see, and you can look at this for every single property in every single county, is what is the job diversity, and this is what you want to see. You want to see a good distribution amongst professional, government, financial services, everything like this. So that's really good. So anyway, this is just a quick preview of how this all works. Once you find a property that you like, you can add it to a portfolio. Basically, you would name the portfolio. So whether you're doing research, so let's say you're in Green Valley Ranch and you want to take a look at what's going on in Green Valley Ranch, which particular properties might you want to zero in on to put offers in on, you can take and add it to the portfolio and do what if scenarios. You know, what if you put 15% down versus 20% down, things like that. Also, if you have your own portfolio of properties, you can also create a portfolio, and then you can analyze your portfolio to see how are you doing in different metrics. You know, what's your gross yield? What would happen if you increased rent by $50 a month for every single one of your properties? How would that affect your overall ROI? And you know, what's going on in each one of those areas. So it's really terrific for that. Renters Warehouse is really big into working with investors. We have hundreds and hundreds of investors that are part of our portfolio services. So we are actively buying and selling. You know, we have investors actively buying and selling entire portfolios of properties throughout the United States. So if you're looking to purchase or you have an existing portfolio, whether you have tenants in there or not, we can help you. We're one of the very few companies that do that. We work with the tenants, and we can sell properties with tenants in there. So we'd be happy to help you with any of that. So let us know if we can help you. My name's Pete, and I'm happy to help you in any way I can. Thanks.